Planning a business trip in the US means getting a US B1 visa. This visa is for attending meetings, conferences, or negotiating business deals in the US. But before you pack your suitcase, you'll need to convince the consular officer that you're visiting for business and that you'll return home after your trip. A little worried, right? Don't worry. I'm Max from the Visa Library, and today I will tell you the most common B1 visa interview questions and how to answer them. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. First, let's talk about the general B1 visa interview questions. These questions help the officer understand your purpose for traveling and your plans during your trip. Let's see how to answer them. How do you want to travel to the US now? Now, be clear about the reason for your trip. Focus on your business purpose, like attending a conference, meeting clients, or negotiating contracts. Avoid vague answers. How long do you plan to stay in the US? Mention the duration of your trip based on your business plans. Stay specific and realistic, and show that you'll leave on time. Will you be planning to extend your stay in the US? Let them know if you plan to leave as scheduled. Emphasize that you understand the visa is temporary and won't stay beyond its limits. What will you be doing while in the US? Explain the purpose of your business visit. For example, mention any meetings, conferences, or training you'll be attending. Where in the US will you be going? Provide exact locations. Mention cities, hotels, or company addresses where your meetings or events will take place. Will you be returning to the US after this trip? Be honest. If this is a one-time trip, say so. If you plan future business trips, explain that your plans will depend on your work needs. Will you be traveling alone? If not, who will be joining you? Mention if you are traveling alone or with colleagues. Provide their names and roles if necessary. Can you provide evidence that you will be leaving the US at the end of this period of a stay? Highlight ties to your home country. Mention things like your job, property, or family that require you to return home. Alright, let's move on to work-related questions. Since this visa is for business, expect questions about your job and responsibilities. Let's go. What is your profession? How do you earn your living? Describe your job and role within your company. If you're self-employed, talk about your business. If you're employed, who do you work for? Provide details about your employer, including the company's name, location, and industry. Will you be looking for work in the US? The B1 visa does not allow job hunting. Assure the visa officer that you will not seek work and that your trip is strictly business related. If you're self-employed, what will happen to your business while you're in the US? Obviously, this is for self-employed applicants. Explain how your business will run while you're away. Mention any managers or employees who will oversee operations in your absence. Alright, moving on. Financial questions. Rest assured, the officer will check your financial stability to ensure you can cover your expenses. Let's take a look at the questions. What is your annual income? Just state your yearly earnings from your job or business. Be honest, as they may ask for supporting documents. Do you have a credit card? Confirm if you have one, and mention whether you will use it during your trip. How much will your visit cost? Give an estimate of your trip's cost, including airfare, hotel stays, meals, and other expenses. Who will be paying for your visits? Explain if your employer, a client, or you are covering the trip's costs. Be clear about the funding and sources. Are you being sponsored? If yes, explain who is sponsoring you and why. Mention any official documentation from the sponsor if applicable. Alright, time to talk about travel-related questions. The officer will ask about your travel history, especially visits to the US. Let's go. Have you ever visited or been to the US before? Share details of any previous trips. If you followed the visa rules before, mentioned that as a very good positive point. Which other countries have you been to? You can list the countries you visited for business or leisure. Mention your international travel experience to show you've traveled responsibly. And finally, personal questions. These questions help the officer understand your background and personal ties. Let's take a look. Do you have relatives in the US? Mention any family members in the US. Be honest, but clarify that your visit is strictly for business. Do you have any children or other dependents? Just provide the names, ages, and locations of your children or dependents. This shows you have responsibilities at home. What assets do you own in your home country? Mention properties, investments, or businesses you own. This shows you have financial commitments in your home country. And that was it. Hope this video was useful. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you need more guidance, use our free visa consultation service or contact our social media accounts. All links are in the description, and thank you all for watching.